You wake up. Your throat is burning. Your head is pounding. Your body aches so badly you can't move. You reach for your phone, Google the symptoms, order medicine on Blinkit, text your boss you're not coming in. Done. Problem handled. Now imagine doing all of that, except there is no medicine, no doctor, no hospital, no diagnosis, no cure. Just you, a fever climbing higher every hour, and 20 people around a fire who have absolutely no idea what's happening to you. For 99% of human history, getting sick wasn't an inconvenience, it was a death sentence. Or was it? Let's start with what ancient humans were actually up against. Before modern sanitation, before antibiotics, before anyone understood what a germ even was, the world was trying to kill you from the inside. Parasites lived in every water source, infections entered through every cut, bacteria colonized food within hours. Respiratory illness spread instantly in a group of 30 people sleeping in a pile for warmth. And here's the thing nobody talks about. Ancient humans got sick constantly. Archaeologists examining 10,000-year-old skeletons found evidence of tuberculosis, bone infections, abscesses, parasitic damage, and healed fractures that had gone badly wrong. These weren't rare, they were everywhere. So how did any of them survive long enough to become your ancestors? The answer will completely change how you think about medicine. In 2017, researchers studying the Shanidar Cave skeletons in Iraq, the same cave where a Neanderthal with one arm and severe arthritis lived to 40, found something unexpected: pollen. Concentrated pollen deposits around the burial sites, 8 different plant species: Groundsel, Yarrow, Ephedra. Now, pollen blows everywhere, but 8 specific medicinal plants clustered around a single burial, that's not random, that's intention. Yarrow has been documented in over 200 cultures as a wound healing agent. It contains compounds that slow bleeding and fight bacterial infection. Ephedra, the plant, is the natural source of ephedrine, still used in modern medicine for respiratory conditions. These people knew. Not in a laboratory sense, not with clinical trials, but through thousands of years of watching, testing, failing, and remembering. Someone got a wound, someone pressed a plant against it, the wound healed. That knowledge was passed forward, generation after generation, for hundreds of thousands of years. The first medicine wasn't invented, it was remembered. Every hunter-gatherer group ever studied has one thing in common: a healer. Not a doctor, not someone with a degree, someone the group trusted to know things others didn't. In anthropology, they're called shamans, medicine people. But strip away the ritual and the ceremony, and what you have is simply this: a specialist. Someone who spent their life studying which plants reduced fever, which roots stopped diarrhea, which leaves drew out infection when pressed against a wound. In 2012, researchers analyzed the traditional plant medicines used by indigenous communities across Africa, South America, and Asia, and they found that roughly 25% of all modern pharmaceutical drugs are directly derived from plants these communities had been using for thousands of years. Aspirin from willow bark, morphine from poppies, quinine from cinchona bark, still used for malaria today. They didn't have the chemistry, but they had the results. And here's what's remarkable. When modern scientists test these plants in laboratories, they work. The compounds are real. The effects are measurable. Ancient humans didn't guess their way into medicine. They observed their way in, for millennia. So, you're sick 100,000 years ago. What actually happens? First, you rest, and not in the guilty, checking your phone way. Complete rest, because your group won't let you do anything else. Someone brings you food. Someone keeps the fire going near you. Someone stays. This is critical. Hunter-gatherer groups don't abandon sick members. We know this because the archaeological record is full of skeletons that show healed injuries so severe the person couldn't have survived without extended care from others. A broken femur takes months to heal. You cannot walk, you cannot hunt, you cannot gather. Someone fed that person for months. because in a world without walls and without money, your only real asset was the people around you, and people took care of their assets. Second, heat. Every ancient culture ever studied used heat therapy, hot stones wrapped in leaves pressed against painful areas, steam from boiling water inhaled for respiratory illness, sitting close to fire. We now know fever is the body's immune response, but ancient humans didn't know that. They just noticed warmth helps, cold makes it worse. Stay near the fire. Third, fasting or specific foods. Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherer groups find that when someone falls ill, the group instinctively adjusts their diet. Lighter foods, more broth, less meat. The body reduces appetite during illness for a reason. It's redirecting energy to the immune system. Ancient humans followed that signal without understanding it. Their medicine wasn't chemistry, it was attention. But here's where it gets fascinating. Healing in ancient societies was never just physical. When someone got seriously sick, the healer didn't just apply plants and walk away. There was song, there was rhythm, there was community gathering around the sick person. For a long time, Western anthropologists dismissed this as superstition, primitive magic, wishful thinking. Then came the research. In 2016, a study published in the journal Evolution and Human Behavior found that music and rhythmic sound directly reduce cortisol, the stress hormone, and increase immune function. Communal singing increases oxytocin. Oxytocin reduces inflammation. The ritual wasn't decorating the medicine. The ritual was the medicine. Being surrounded by your group, hearing familiar voices, feeling the warmth of a fire and people close to you, knowing you are not abandoned. These things have measurable biological effects on healing. Modern medicine calls it the placebo effect and acts slightly embarrassed by it. Ancient humans built their entire healthcare system around it and called it community. Today, when you get sick, you are alone. You close your door. You order food delivered by a stranger. You send a text instead of seeing a face. We have antibiotics that can stop infections in 48 hours. We have surgeries that seem like magic. We have more medical knowledge than any humans who ever lived. And somehow, we forgot the thing that ancient humans never once questioned. Healing happens faster when you are not alone. They had no hospitals. They had each other. And for 300,000 years, most of the time, that was enough.